YouTube, what is going on? Hope everyone's doing all right. Man, busy week this week. Just happy it's Friday. I think today's August 5th or 6th maybe. 2021. Just out here. Gonna give you all a quick update, man. But before I get into all that, gonna have an adult beverage, man. Had these sitting in the fridge. Passion fruit tonight. Wasn't my purchase, but it's there, so I'm drinking it. If y'all got a beer, cheers. If you don't have one, go grab one. Cheers. Might as well have a drink. It's Friday night, man. But just wanted to give you all a quick rundown of what I got going on. You can obviously see I got my oil pan off the car. Got my oil dipstick tube chilling right there. Giovanni, dude's been in the comments, made mention of a Moroso front sump oil pan, so I'm gonna roll with that. And I say that because the front pickup tube showed up today. I think the oil pan will show up tomorrow in the mail, so hopefully I can see if it works out. Giovanni, if it works out, big shout out to you, man. If it doesn't work, that'll suck big time, and I'll have to figure out something else out, and then I guess we both learned something. But as far as progress that I made, obviously you can see I got the motor pretty well set in the car. Obviously there's no oil pan on it right now, so I just got it hanging by the crane. But pretty tight fit, man. Real tight fit. So that's the steering box. You can see where the LS mounts are gonna go, and it's a tight squeeze, man. You can see exhaust. That's gonna be a pain. That steering shaft is gonna get balls hot, so I'm gonna have to try and figure out some shrouding. Down in here you can see the clutch bleeder. It's kind of getting pinched by the trans tunnel, so a little messy. I'm gonna have to adjust and clean it up and just keep making adjustments until I can get it straight. I'm gonna have to pick up a welder and like buy some like 1/4-inch plate steel, and I think this motor mount is going to be easy breezy, just because there's so much room to navigate down here. Let me grab the light. Hang on, guys. Put my damn drink down here. But you can see there's so much room to navigate down here. The compressor is going to be right here, and I got to put the starter in yet, but I don't really see too many issues with that. But you can see the LS bolts right there. Going to match up with the e38 motor mounts right there, so I got to build something to connect it to. So that's on my to-do list, obviously. And then just beyond that, I got to do obviously plumbing, wiring, bleed my clutch slave cylinder. I mean, not my clutch throwout bearing. I'm sorry. And then run wiring. So yeah, a lot to do. Hopefully with the oil pan, if that shows up tomorrow, I'm slapping it on right away. And I just want to see how the fitment looks. I'll give you guys a look under here to see what I'm working with. So you can see crank pulleys right there. I kind of bagged everything up. And then subframe is right here, so not a whole lot of room, but we'll see what we can do with it. So that's where we're at on the engine side. I was able to use the factory BMW trans cross member. They crawl down here on the floor. Hang on. Oh, jeez. Oh, man. Hear every joint in my body creak. Alright. Hang on, man. Let me get y'all some light. Can't see nothing under there. It's gonna be a messy video, guys. I'm sorry. Tuck that guy under here. All right, let me get back under here. Jeez. All right, come on in. There we go. All right, let's check it out. So there is my trans and cross member. If y'all remember, I used the energy suspension T56 polyurethane cross member bushing right here. And then obviously this is the factory BMW cross member for the trans. And it's just a single bolt right here. You guys can see it. And then 2 bolts on the side of the T56 right there. So not overly complicated. I'll take y'all in the cab in a second just to show you what I got going on up there. But you can see I had to cut the trans tunnel to make room for the shift handle. You can see it right there. I couldn't get it lined up, and you can see there's a punch out right there for if you had the actual ZF manual or whatever the OEM manual that came with this car, but it didn't make it. It was a couple inches short, unfortunately. That's what she said, right? But it was a couple inches short, and my only real option was to cut the trans tunnel to get it in there. And I'll show you guys the interior in a second, but this is how the T56 fits. If it's okay, if it's good rather, but I'm just worried about the oil pan. If the oil pan comes in tomorrow and it bolts right in, man, I'm solid. Real solid at that point. And then it's just plumbing, wiring, drive shaft. And then, you know, there's always odds and ends, but yeah, I mean, for the most part, if you're rolling with this T56, you might be able to get away with using this OEM trans cross member. And check out this energy suspension bushing. I don't know how tall the OEM bushings are for you know, like a typical Chevy motor would be, but definitely check them out. You know, I don't know what you guys are running. I know some guys run the automatic trans 4L80. That's an option. It would definitely make it easier to not have to deal with getting this shifter in, but I wanted a manual. That's what I rolled with, so I'm slugging through it. But I don't know what the dimensions are from this mounting point right here on the T56 to the back to the front of the T56, how long that is. But my intent putting this in was to try and get the trans cross member put in and then build the motor mounts from there and try and figure out the oil pan from there. So that's kind of my plan of attack. That's how I'm going to proceed from here on out. I will end up unbolting this trans in a bit just to file down these dog ears like I said in my last video. You can see they're hitting the cross member, so I got to clean those up. I do have to put fluid in here, and then this is my oh goodness, that's my reverse lights. So when you go into reverse, that'll turn your lights on, your reverse lights for your tail. I still have to do the reverse lockout solenoid. I'll wire that into the brake switch, fill it with a fluid, and then that's it for the trans. Bleed throughout bearing, build motor mounts, and then oil pan. But let me take y'all into the cab and show you what I had to do in there to get this set up to fit. Dang. All right, so here's kind of what I got going on. I had to take the armrest out. Let me hop in here. So hopefully you guys can see this, but this is the ductwork for the rear passenger vents. So I'll move that to the side. But y'all can see I had to turn that off. Keep it on. You guys can see I had to cut the trans tunnel there, unfortunately. I just couldn't get it to line up. But it's in there now. Shift's good, no problems. You can see everything down in there. But yeah, no issues shifting. Into first, we're all good. Obviously had to take my center console out. I just got it chilling over here. But I'll show you an issue I ran into, and that was with this rear ducting for the back seat passengers. So when I put it in, get it lined up here. So it's got a little tab you slide in. There we go. So that's all the way in, right? So it's hanging out here. It sits under this guy. But the issue I was having was when I would shift into first, because of how far forward the trans is sitting right now, it would hit the shift lever. So you can see I clearanced it, obviously. And it's still sitting in the duct, and I still got one duct and two ducts, but that's first. That's as far forward and left as it's going to go. That's second, so we're in good shape. But shifting in the first was a problem, right? Because it was going to bump into this ductwork. Basically what I ended up doing was I took a little like butane torch that I have for doing soldering, and I just heated up this plastic and took a screwdriver, like the round palm side of a screwdriver, and just rolled it over. I would get it hot, roll it over, get it hot, roll it over. And you can kind of see down in there, it's still okay, you know. It's not going to be a big deal. The duct is fine. But I just did that so I could clearance the shifter. For you guys doing automatics, I don't think you really have this problem, you know, as long as the trans lines up, just depending on how you're doing it. But I would basically take a butane torch, heat up this section, get the screwdriver and just roll it left and right, and just like pull it that way. And eventually I got it, and it's still sealed up, and it's solid. So that was my solution. And now it should shift no problem without having this ductwork interfere with it. The other thing I'm worried about is this section in the center console. So when I was doing this yesterday before I took this out, it was kind of hitting. It was the shifter link knob or whatever kind of chills like right here. So I ended up ordering something from Sicky. It's called a kinked shifter, Kinked. And basically what it does is it mounts to the T56 shifter, and then it basically comes back and then up again. But it's basically a 2.5-inch offset. So I'm hoping that I'll mount this guy up. It'll still it'll still shift in the first with no issues, and it'll miss this this little section right here in my center console. So I ordered it yesterday. They're out of Baltimore, which ain't too far from me, and hopefully it'll be here, I don't know, next week or something. My oil pan's supposed to be here tomorrow, hopefully. But yeah, that's kind of my plan right now. Use that offset shift handle, and then hopefully bring it out and up, and then I'll be good to go. So that's kind of where I'm at for now. But yeah, this is getting to the exciting part, man. Still a lot of work to do. I think the next thing I'm gonna do is start, besides the oil pan and motor mounts and all the other stuff I gotta do, is get this Terminator kit going. I haven't done anything with that. That's my wiring harness and computer controller for the fuel injection. So that's something I got to get working on. But yeah, guys, that's kind of where we're at with the build right now. It's taking a while. I got a lot of frying pans in the kitchen, but this is a significant part, man. And when I get my motor mounts put together, I'm gonna share them with everybody, man. Like I said, I kind of intend to build them and then hopefully be able to reproduce them somehow professionally. Excuse me, whether that's like CNC machining or whatever. I might even consider trying to use these factory mounts, because if people pull this V8 motor, maybe they can use like if I can modify the factory mount to fit an LS swap with just like an adapter plate. I mean, that would be a much easier and cheaper solution that everyone could use. So that's kind of my initial plan with the motor mounts. I'm gonna chop these up just to get the mount itself, and then I'll see if I can modify an adapter or make an adapter to fit the LS bolt pattern. But yeah, guys, that's where it's at. But pretty exciting, man. I got it chilling in the engine bay, and long time coming. I don't know how long I've been working on this motor, but that's all I got for y'all today. Hope everyone's doing all right, man. If I don't talk to you, it'd probably be middle of the week or next week, unless I can make some progress over the weekend. But you know how weekends get, man. They get filled up real quick. So that's all I got for y'all today, man. But appreciate everyone tuning in, and yeah, we'll catch you on the next one. Enjoy your weekend.